Welcome back to the Sol Show. We talk about all things Solana TA. It is May 23rd, 2024. Oh, we've had quite a pump. We came out of that tough drop that we had in April. We got the inverse head and shoulders. We came back, folks. But now we're pulling back. I've been seeing this coming for a while. I like to be cautiously optimistic, but at the same time, I got to call things for what they are. And let's zoom in real quick and see where we're at. I think a lot of people kind of saw this coming. This pump happened very quick because it needed to happen. This had fallen way too far in April. So it climbed back. Man, Solana, of course, it's got two modes. Drops like a rock or takes off like a rocket. Well, this time, folks, it took off like a rocket. And hopefully, in this little drop that we're in right now, hopefully it's not going to drop too far. And I can help you to show you some levels that are significant where we can get an idea of where it's going to go. There's no guarantees. As a matter of fact, a whole lot of shorts got liquidated because everybody seemed to be seeing the ending in the high 70s. So shorts are more sophisticated traders too. It faked out a lot of people that really know what they're doing. So a lot of people got blindsided by this massive short liquidation happened at went to 175, then started going down. Everybody was kind of seeing that as we're kind of topping out right there. 175, 176-ish. So we got a little extra pump, and that's what I like to call the get out pump. If you see it going down, the great thing about holding your winners is oftentimes there's a get out pump. So it's very well telegraphed, and that's how this was. There were so many opportunities to sell right at the top. If you sold at 188, fantastic. If you shorted at 188, even better. But, of course, shorting is dangerous. I don't advise using leverage unless you know what you're doing. But I don't advise anything, as a matter of fact, because I don't give financial advice. Just want to give you a quick announcement on that. I do not give financial advice. All this is just for entertainment purposes only. Everything that I do. So, with that out of the way, let's have a little bit of education in the world of trading and charting and TA, specifically focused on Solana. So, what I'm seeing right here, this swing began, I would say the 15th of March technically, but it was already in the making on the 12th of March. So the 12th of March, we started from humble beginnings at 138 and made it all the way up, 50 points up. May 20th, we topped out at 188. What an amazing run. Wow. That's how Solana does it. Mama Solana, she will take off without warning. So you got to be on that train. So right now, we're getting our first pullback of the new rally. And I think this is nothing to be worried about. This is an opportunity. Matter of fact, the way that I'm seeing this is a lot of folks got surprised. There were a lot of folks that were still so burned by April that they just sort of stayed back. They said, oh, man, I've seen how that thing drops. I don't want any part of that. And then they saw how it pumped. Like, oh, man, I wish I was on that. So many regrets. You regret it if you did it. You regret it if you didn't do it. So with Solana, the best thing to do, be like Saul and hodl. Nobody ever got hurt hodling the best assets. The step 1, identify the top 1% of assets. Step 2, hodl. Hold as long as you can. And step 3, when you see a time to take some healthy profits, there you go. But you got to make your own decisions because, once again, I do not give financial advice. So let's see where we're at in this quick little pump that we had. And now we've pulled back to a significant Fibonacci level of 38.2. Now let's take a look here. And I've identified a significant level. So we've pulled back from that peak at 188. Technically, wow, made it all the way. It touched 189. Wow, I thought the peak was like 188. I was watching it when it happened. Wow, when it did that final pump, because this right here, this was a short squeeze. So this was pretty much the end of the swing right here. It was starting to go down. And then, total surprise, the shorts were piling in, getting ready to ride this thing down. And suddenly, short squeeze up to 189. So we had a massive short liquidation. It took everybody by surprise. Matter of fact, I was on a road trip at that time, and I was just stopping to glance at it. And wow, when I stopped for gas, I looked at it and I had to do a double take. Whoa, that changed fast. But that's crypto, and especially Solana. It moves quick. So where we are right now, we got a bounce around this 23.6 Fibonacci level. We got a bounce, and we bounced up to about 183. I kind of saw that happening. I was guessing. So after it started coming down off of the 189 peak, I was saying this is probably going to dip down. Don't know how far into the 170s somewhere, but once it bounces, I'm guessing 183 and then 160. So let's refine that a little bit and why I'm seeing things that way. So let's look a little bit closer. Currently, we've hit the second Fibonacci level down, very significant level, 38.2%. And that's right there to 169 some change. So the next level that I see us having a bounce at is around, I'm seeing 164.5 on here. You can call it 163.5, excuse me. But you can call that 164. Nothing is perfectly accurate unless you're doing a limit order. You have to start placing a few limit orders down there. You might get some nice DCA. So the most significant level, I have this whole significant zone here that's between 164 to 158 roughly. And if it dips below that, oh man, the DCAers are in for even a bigger gift. I think we could get all the way down to possibly 148, but as we climb this rising line of support, most likely it's going to be in the low 150s somewhere, maybe 150, maybe up to 154. Let's take a look. Zoom out here a little bit. I'll tell you why that these levels are significant. Let's look back. Because when this thing was topping out, let's look back the old head and shoulders here, the neckline. When we broke the neckline at this head and shoulders, it was roughly at 160. So here's the shoulder, here's the head, here's the second shoulder, and here is the neckline that I have marked out in green here. As a matter of fact, we even dipped into this zone back on April 9th, and we got a bounce right there. It's a significant area. Then we broke through it about mid-April. We even broke through the rising line of support. Then we bounced up pretty close to this pivot zone. It seems to be going back and forth, and it was a resistance all throughout April. But the resistance was actually forming this inverse head and shoulders, which is a great sign for bottoming out. So once we saw that, we knew that we had something. Those that could spot that, they loaded up and they got rewarded. So we see this little bounce inside of it. Look at how it danced right inside there. And this ended up being on this swing from 138 to 189. Strangely enough, this ended up being right between the 50% and the 61.8% retracement level. So I think we're going to come back to that. I've been thinking this ever since we started topping out at 175, what we thought was the top of that swing at 175. That I was saying the whole time that we're going to need to pull back to about 160. because we need to retest the neckline. So you see the top of this zone, most likely get a bounce, 163.5, 164 roughly. I think we're going to get some very firm support right there. And most likely for the rest of this month, for the rest of May, it's going to probably dance around there. It's kind of where I see this going right now. There are probably some folks out there, they're a little bit scared because, oh man, when Solana moves, it moves. But hey, the good news, Mama Solana found out that some of her kids were left behind at daycare and really wanted to get in. So the nice thing that she did, she turned the car around. She's coming back to pick y'all up, so be ready. She's a-coming for you. So this is where you can meet her at. There are no guarantees, but these are some levels to look out for. I sure will be. So with that, may all your trades be safe and prosperous, and to be continued on the next Saul Heidelman Show.